Welcome, everybody, to our series this afternoon or this evening. I don't know what time it is in your place, but welcome to Lighting the World with Truth. I will introduce, or my guest will introduce herself in just a minute, but I'd like to give a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, many, many years ago, said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." That's a beautiful quote, and we have to keep dreaming. And with that, I would like to welcome Valeria, but I'll have her introduce herself. Valeria, please.
So my name is Valeria Lira. I'm an organizer with Voces de la Frontera. A little bit about myself. I am an immigrant in this country, so I was brought over here when I was 3 years old. For a lot of childhood arrivals like myself, it could take maybe weeks to come into this country. For my dad and I, it took months. We went through a lot of obstacles. Once we were in Mexicali, which is still in Mexico's part, our money got stolen. Whoa. So by this time, my mom was already here. She came first with my godfather. And so it took her time. She had to work again, save the money up again, save those thousands of dollars so that we could be reunited with her. Finally, after time, the money was able to once again make it to us, and we were able to pay it. So that was the first obstacle we encountered. The second one was once we were at the safe house. We were there for a couple of days, waiting on our turn to get picked up. And one night we were, around like a table like this, and we were having a couple of snacks before dinner because we didn't have a lot of food. We had to pay for food, and so we were really limited. Yeah. And finally, there was a knock on the door, and it was pretty late, so we kind of were a little bit startled and kind of worried. We didn't know if it were, those coyotes or if it was ICE. So they looked out, they opened the door, and it was the smugglers, and then they were ready to cross us over. So my dad quickly went to one of the rooms, pick up my box of clothes, so that we can go. We were excited because we were finally leaving. We were finally going to go see my mom. And as soon as my dad was walking out the door with me in his hand, the coyote stopped him and told him, no, if you take your 3-year-old daughter with you, she could die in the desert. Oh, and dear. So to this day, my dad is very grateful that I did not go with him. Them. He's very grateful because he tells me that he had to sleep among rattlesnakes and within pipes. Yeah. And it was very cold at night, so he's glad that I didn't go through this. I went through a different path, and to this day he still tells me how when the coyote was telling him this and he was looking at me, he didn't see any tears come out of my eyes. He said that I was very brave, and at the age of 3, I really did understand, and I understood what was going on, and what was going to happen. So that was the second obstacle that we encountered, and I thought maybe, once we were crossing over here, during that period of time, my dad didn't know where I was, my mom didn't know where I was, I didn't know where either my mom or my dad was until I arrived in San Diego, California, with my uncles. So I was now with family. It wasn't the same. I felt, welcomed, but my dad was still not there. I didn't know where my mom was. I was still kind of like in this limbo of I don't know where I am. And one day we were sitting on the couch, and my uncles were like, okay, we'll be back, we have to go get groceries, and we were like, okay, and they left me with my older cousin and my younger cousin. And so I fell asleep on the couch, and when I woke up during the night and I turned, my dad was finally there laying down with me. So to this day, I still remember it as though it was yesterday. I remember the feeling, the pure happiness that I felt when I saw him, and I realized then what it really meant to feel protected, what it really felt to feel the pure joyness and happiness of a 3-year-old.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay,
And
that's wonderful. Wow, that's quite a story there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now, I didn't say introduce our subject to our listeners, but we are talking about DACA. That is the topic for today. And Valeria, would you explain what DACA means, in
Sure.
case some of our listeners are confused?
Sure. So DACA is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals.
Okay.
It was an executive order that we were able to win, along with the immigrant rights movement.
That was during Obama's.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
okay.
during the President Obama's term. So
Okay.
we fought throughout many years until we were able to win something, and that was DACA.
Yes.
So it was announced in June of 2012. In August, we were able to apply. And what DACA grants childhood arrivals like myself
Yes.
is a social security number, a work permit, and protection from deportation for 2 years. So it's something that was renewable every 2 years up
Okay.
until September 5th, where
Of this year.
of 2017, where President Trump had Jeff Sessions announce that DACA was going to be rescinded.
Yeah.
So now DACA's over. We no longer, and as if, we no longer want an executive order. We want something more permanent.
More permanent,
So,
absolutely.
with everything going on with DACA, we have 6 months
Okay.
for Congress to pass anything, or people like myself would be made deportable just because I do not qualify to renew. So I did not fall within that time frame that they gave to renew.
Oh my, that is very, I don't know what word to even use, it's such a horrible thing. Now, why is DACA so urgent an issue? Why do you think it's such an urgent issue?
DACA is a very urgent subject that should be taken care of because the lives of 800,000
800,000.
childhood arrivals are in danger. 800,000 DACA recipients plus their families are in danger. As I had mentioned, with this 6-month period, we don't know what's going to happen after 6 months. We don't know if Congress is going to pass something, or we're going to fight for something. Of course, we have to fight as though we were fighting for our lives, because that's technically what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in 6 months, a lot of us could be deportable. Our parents could be deportable. When we applied for DACA, we gave them everything. We gave them our vaccine records, our report cards, pictures where our parents work, where we went to school, where we go to school, where we work. If we move to a different house, we have to let them know where we moved. So they exactly know everything. So that is what makes this matter urgent, that they really do know where we are.
Okay, wow, this is something else. So then, Valeria, I don't know, what are the next steps now? What do we have? What do you have? What do we have to do? What are the next steps?
Yes, definitely. So the next steps is that we have to continue fighting. We have to continue mobilizing, organizing, and the next step is to pass legislation that's permanent, a legislation like a Clean Dream Act. The Dream Act was first introduced in almost 2010. It's been going on for years, for a lot of years. And I remember when DACA was killed with like 5 votes. And that was a really sad moment, because it's like, wow, I could have, I could have had a pathway to citizenship. I could have kept my parents safe in this country, the only country that we know as home.
Sure.
So definitely, in 2017, the DREAM Act was once reintroduced again, and now we are demanding that there be a Clean Dream Act passed. So to define the term clean, we don't want $1 going towards the gate, wall, fence, levy, whatever they want to call it. We don't want nothing going towards that. And most importantly, that our parents are not going to be negotiable. So we want our parents included. We want them protected as well.
Okay.
A lot of people say, yeah, maybe childhood arrivals didn't commit a crime, but your parents coming in illegally they created a crime. But then again, wouldn't you as a parent go more than that to give your child the best future they can have?
Yeah.
So definitely our parents cannot be kept out of this, and we will not be used as a bargain chip. Our parents will not be used as a bargain chip. My U.S. citizen sister that's 10-year-old will not be used as a bargain chip.
Okay, so and here in Racine, can you give any I mean, what are you doing right now in the city of Racine?
Sure. Definitely. Throughout the weeks, we have been putting a lot of pressure on Speaker of the House and our Congressman Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan, oh, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
So as a constituent of Paul Ryan, I've myself have put a lot of pressure on him because it's something that really hits home.
Yes.
It's something that if I don't fight for myself, I'm not going to wait for anybody else to do it.
No.
So we've put pressure on him. On August 20th, we went to his church in Janesville to go have mass with him, share communion with him, show him that just like him, we were raised Catholic. We're just as human as he is, and we want his support. So we had that, and then we saw that created momentum, but it didn't create the momentum we needed. So then we escalated to a 5-day hunger strike that was right a couple of feet in front of his office. And so that escalated, and it created even more national momentum to a point where he came out saying that he urged Trump not to end the DACA program. Unfortunately, it was still ended.
It's like this.
Yep, and then the next day, Paul Ryan said that he supported the decision that he had made. Mm-hmm. So we know that he's easily swung. He can easily swing. Right. And so we just have to keep putting pressure on him. Tomorrow we want to host a town hall meeting, knowing that he's in district this whole week. Mm-hmm. So we definitely want to hold a town hall meeting. I believe he's been invited, and hopefully he's able to come. We'll be a couple of feet from his office, so it'll be an outdoor town hall meeting where hopefully he can come and talk about an important issue like immigration. He had a recent CNN town hall meeting where they hosted Speaker Paul Ryan, and among all these topics, immigration was not one of them. And so with DACA being in the air, with the DREAM Act, and these raids and everything going on, immigration should have been one of the main topics for this town hall meeting. And it's been more than 2 years since he's met with us, so it calls right.
Exactly. Now we're almost to the end of our program. So, what do you have? Any have words of encouragement to our listeners that are watching and listening to this? What words of encouragement can you give them?
Sure. We may not be 100% from this country, but we sure do give 100% of ourselves to be in this country, and that we are here to stay, and we're not going to go away without a fight. And that I encourage other documented folks to come out, to tell your story, tell people what it feels like, tell people how much you contribute to this country, not just economically, but with studies. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have lawyers, we have teachers that are documented, and these are the type of people that we want to make deportable. You are the type of person that they want to make deportable, and we cannot go away without a fight.
All right, those are wonderful words, Valeria. I'm just very pleased with all that, and I really admire you and all those that are working with you, the courage and the strength. And how old are you?
21.
21, okay. I mean, you're young, and yet you have all this enthusiasm. And my dear listeners, I hope that this has come into your heart, so to speak, to do something with this and help this thing move, okay? I would like to close with something that is, I don't know how many of you know this, but this is written on the bottom of the Statue of Liberty. And Emma Lazarus is the one who wrote this way back in 1883. And this is right on the bottom of the Statue of Liberty. And this is what it says: "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. And let's always remember that that's there. I want to thank you, Valeria, again for your generous words today and your enthusiasm and your love for everything. And I wish God's blessing on you. And my dears, thank you for listening, everybody. And remember, once you know the truth, you are responsible for it. Blessings and goodbye.